So I finally put all the dots together, something that I've been connecting from a long time, all the dots, and connecting the dots and dotting the I's and crossing the T's. And here's the full story of exactly what is going on in our super duper illusory world, a literal illusion. So this world was never meant to be like this, just like I mentioned in long ago in December of last year to January, February videos of last year, which I made private now because of some reasons. But I was already making it very clear on a broader level as to why this world is not the real world and all that. And so many people already had suspicions about it, but they did not know how to debunk it or connect the dots or understand the bigger picture. So they got carried away by all the drama and chaos around without understanding what's happening. And that was the whole point. But see, this world was never meant to be like this. Period. It was meant to be built on the principles of divinity, on the principles in which the divine, the source, wanted to create a world, creation, for which, just like in the divine world and how he has created humans and in his vision of the world, there is a male and a female counterpart. So they have to come together to create a creation, to create something, to birth the creation, the world, the earth, and all that. So that was the original plan. Something went totally haywire in between, and in the meantime, the haywire, it all happened because of the evil spirits. Again, evil spirit don't come randomly. Someone very evil and negative and very down, highly low level, on the superficial, greed, power hungry, jealous, anger, bitter, unhealed souls. Like I mentioned in the yesterday's story, where how they first made deals with men on a global scale to compromise the male energy first, masculine energy first, before they polluted and the feminine energy. And all this was for a reason, a bigger cosmic reason, because since they were always abusing laws, spiritual and universal, to look into other people's lives and dreams and visions and intuition and all those, and they were stealing them, just like they did with me. They had a clear vision and clear timeline as to when God is gonna be tired of all this evilness and He's gonna end all this darkness once and for all by bringing real divine masculine and real divine feminine into partnership. The pure divine masculine and a pure divine feminine, so that they would birth a new creation. And realizing this was the vision and realizing that I am that person, they have been following me around from multiple lifetimes with someone who is a fake ass, who is pretending to be my counterpart, or at least was on that level initially before he fell, just like all the men fell first, and started attacking me so that everything would go down and all the demonic things would live on and all the divine things can be exploited at the cost of their own lives and souls. They can live on, and that is why there is this huge dark practices going on. There was a lot. Everything in this world is spiritual manipulation through dark. This is not the world God meant for us to live at all. Even before the world that God meant for us to live in has already even taken off, the destruction began. Even before it could take on a reasonable form, they couldn't let it happen. And the greed and jealous and anger and the power hungry men started taking over and started corrupting their own masculine energies. They refused to be in the divine form, and they compromised on a global scale and started attacking women and their power and their energy and a lot of creation energy in order to prevent and systematically demolish the pure divine feminine energy, also corrupt it. And so that even we corrupted the masculine, and we refused to let any other masculine to rise above that level. They've created the standard for men in such a way that they will make it extremely impossible, even through manipulating the mothers and females in their lives. They manipulated and made sure that the standard is such that there is no room for divinity and personal growth and evolution and raising the standards and living up to a certain standard. At the same time, they have to make sure that feminine would not wake up to her true divine connection and power, because she is the one having the most connection with God. So she has to be systematically demolished as well, and that was happening for a long time. In all of this, they found that exact time period where God has been tired of all this, and He is actually bringing together a true divine feminine and true divine masculine together to once again create a pure divine creation. This time, the darkness will be wiped out forever. There will not be any room for it at all. He's going to make sure of that. How did they know? Through the dreams and visions that a divine feminine was having. I had this information of more than almost a year ago, I think. They saw that this was coming through stealing my dreams, and like I said, they already tracked me before my birth and attacked me and stole me at birth and tried their level best to create a lot of muck and mud and confusion around who I really am, so that I would not wake up to my true divine feminine thing. In the meantime, they were trying to corrupt my soul as much as possible. I'm too strong, and they were already warned. Actually, this is one thing God told me. They were warned. They were already warned even the first time when they tried. Even when I was in the womb, they were warned very clearly not to touch. Do not go near her. Do not mess. Whatever it is that you've been doing with other souls, don't you dare do it. Don't you go near her. It's none of your business. Stay away. Just leave her alone. This was a very clear message given to all of them, and they did not listen. Just like they refused to listen even right now. But that's what happened. They knew it was coming. So they made sure to find out. They already knew who I was because of how far ago my story goes. I already mentioned about the 8-9 lifetimes and all this. Following me around and trying to destroy in every way, shape and form, and ultimately destroy the creation. At the same time, they tried doing it with the counterpart that God knew is not the full one. That's why He did not give him all the powers. He gave the powers, He gave everything, but He knew there is a very high chance he wouldn't live up to His standards, and He would. So He didn't give him everything. He knew. Because God sees all. So He knew what I would do and I could do. He also knew what the masculine energy would do and would not do, and that played out. That played itself out, and that is why they were warned. Because see, every choice has an outcome, like that kind of thing. So when that divine fell off, when that masculine fell off from the divine character, and he started conjuring up all this negativity around, creating perversion, anything but divine, just like he has fallen, the whole world he brought it down to that level. Still, he has no full power. The power is in the feminine, like I mentioned already. So they started targeting the divine feminine for a longest time. But this time they were warned heavily, don't even. because they, like I mentioned in other videos, there was already a pattern, there was already stealing souls, there was already making clones and transferring this identity to other people, and literally making non-humans, literally making this world be filled with non-humans, that there will be so much filth. God won't go anywhere near filth. He won't go anywhere near corrupt energies, slightest also. He won't. He needs the purity of heart and soul, okay, the intention and everything. So they were creating as much ugliness and perversion as possible, so that God won't even send her or send him, okay, because God won't go anywhere near that kind of ugliness, because you need that level of standard. But he did, and that's why he warned them, don't. They didn't listen. So they started literally using whatever it was in my head, my knowledge, my intuition, my power, everything about the divine and the divine feminine, because it's a creation energy. So everything they created around in this world was based on their level, their standards, their darkness level. So they abused it and used it, misused it on all levels by creating this fake ass world around, illusions and all this. Because it's all based in power and control and abuse of power, manipulation, trickery, killing, stealing, destroy, and all this, stealth, deception. There is no truth, everything that is opposite of divine, and they created a world based on that. So they set themselves up for failure. They just did not know how bad it's gonna be. That's the thing. On the same way, they were very sure of one thing, that since this is the purest, like I said, I had the connection, me and the counterpart were the highest product of the highest level of soul connection. As in, we directly come from the source, okay, literal counterparts. So they, after succeedingly destroying everything that I was supposed to do in 8 lifetimes, they were very sure, this is the only connection. There is no other man in the picture. There is no other masculine in the picture. That masculine that we thought was God sent was already ruined, so we are good. The feminine, she is not getting destroyed, she is not impairing herself, but as long as we can destroy and keep her small and make sure that she doesn't call judgment and use her power, use her authority, who knows who she is, we can keep her in that mode for as long as we could. There is a time frame. We could snatch off what is rightfully supposed to be her life, her purpose, her mission, her divinity, and meeting her counterpart and fulfilling the purpose. We would be able to hijack it, prevent the damage to the fake world that we created, because we are using people as batteries, the real people with souls as batteries, whereas the clones were sucking on these batteries by literally attaching to them. They were assigned to them. That's why all these fake marriages and fake as love marriages and everything, all these fake partnerships were happening. They were not origined by divine. They were not made in heaven. They were made by devil. Their skulls and crooked organizations. All these power-hungry men who started these organizations in the first place. There were never women there. Initially, it was all about men all over the world. They secured all their power and bases and wealth and everything. They sat on the top and they fed their ego, and then made women believe that we are on the top and you have to suck our dick for everything, for literally everything. So women gave their power away, living very small existences and all that. So they started perverting like that. So while they were busy doing it, they were very sure masculine is compromised and feminine is not compromising, but still, as long as she doesn't have the support from his energy, because they are supposed to come together. The evil spirits and demons and the dark world and the devil informed them how to create technologies to make clones, to make artificial people that look like people, that whole artificial world based on false moon, false sun, fake as energies and fake but real looking world that would be a replica or imitation or a copy. See, devil cannot create, I already told it can only copy what God has made. It can only copy off of an original. So down to the DNA, down to the creation, sun, moon, stars and all these energies, air, water, everything, to humans, to human looking dolls, they created everything based on the copy and imitation of what God has already created and made. So creating a false illusion, a false world where real humans became a feeding ground, a meal for them, and they would live off of them forever like that without any risk of falling apart. Okay, they are securing their evilness so much. But despite all that, the divine feminine survived. They did not even know that I had a new partner on the. God did not reveal to them, because as long as this partner is already compromised, this counterpart, and since it is a divine contract, only God can cut it off, but women can call judgment on it. When he is not doing his job and abusing and hurting her, she can call judgment on him to ask and say, this is unfair and I want this partnership to be gone. I want a better partner that matches me and my level and treats me well, who is of my match, who is on the divine level. So that's two things they did not know or expect is that I would call judgment and God would see the injustice and sever the connection. Like in humans, they go to court and ask for divorce. The thing with divine partnership is only when judgment is called, God will assess both of these souls, and if it is on fair grounds, he will be able to cut off the connection. It's totally in the hands of the women and God. That happened. So what they did not foresee was that thing. Number two, they did not actually know that I had another counterpart ready for this lifetime to come together to fulfill the creation that was based in divine principles and destroy the dark. This counterpart was kept secret for a long time and they did not even see that coming. Through certain readings and again poking into my mind and my energy and reading and this and that, they found out that the counterpart is who the counterpart is. And the counterpart knows the fallen twin, the fallen now distorted masculine very closely. They are both again born around in the same around circles. They actually probably even work together on some capacity, not fully, but on some capacity. So they found out who this real counterpart now is, because they did everything in their power to malign the feminine, her character, her reputation, the way she appears and everything in such a way, the kind of rumors and character assassination, videos and audios and all the filth they created in my name, my identity, the crimes and all that. They thought that would stick enough, all the lies and manipulation and her character assassination would reach the divine partner, and he would not take the risk to come to her because this seems like such a nasty thing. The reputation seems to be so bad on her. So even if he connects on some level and could see that she seems like my partner, even if his soul says it, they have surrounded himself with so many lies and illusion and fakery, especially after they found out who he is. They tried their level best to make sure that he won't approach her, he won't connect with her, he won't connect his heart with her. Because since it's a divine connection, before he physically comes into my life, he would connect with me spiritually, he would give his heart to me, which will also become a sole reason of how our partnership work, and we will fulfill what our duty mission is. So he was kept busy with another distorted feminine in his life who was doing all the drama and chaos, and another narcissistic female who is desperate to keep, like I mentioned in the video about distorted feminine, and also another video where I mentioned how emotionally available men are trapped by emotionally manipulative women. This is that clone as narcissistic distorted feminine. So she was keeping him stuck as much as possible. There is a lot of chaos created in his own life, and the lies and illusions around my character and my true divinity. She's fake and all this. all the character assassination, rumors, gossip, slander, and literal whole gang stalking operations happening. And just like I was surrounded by a lot of evilness around me since childhood, he was surrounded with all this misinformation for a long time, enough to keep him away or at least delay. They cannot stop anything that is in the God's hand. They tried their level best to keep it away. And this man is finally seeing the truth of all of it. Not just truly who I am, but also who is stopping him from going towards the real partner. And also the most important thing, who are these people around, in and around his life, who has actively been sabotaging him from living in the true divinity that he is meant to live. So this whole ruckus and drama and illusion and everything was going on to stop this divine partnership from happening, because pure divine creation would finally come into existence, which means all darkness will be because, like I already mentioned many times, they were never even supposed to exist in the first place in this realm. This was meant to be for divine beings. It's for souls. It's not for soulless bots and clones and flesh bots and zombies and other things. Some random things look like humans which are filled with evil spirits and demons and all these power hungry ugly spirits. It was never even meant to be. Who started it? Yeah, they will all now fall and take responsibility for it. There is no option for it. So this was the whole agenda. To target the feminine, to target the masculine, to keep them away from each other so that the creation doesn't build on divine foundation. Because it was built on perversion for a long time. They built something very artificial, fake, and nothing to do with divine. For so long, they felt important and powerful and relevant for some time. Like God gave them their 15 minutes of fame, and it's now over. It's time for reality. The time is over. So now it's time for the divine creation to come into being, divine partnerships to come into being. This is also because once these two energies spiritually come together first before they manifest in the physical, it's going to be so powerful. It will not only create the creation that is on the divine level and destroy the evil, it will also awaken the other souls who has been used as a battery and who has been slept. Okay, soul has been slept and their consciousness has not been awakened to the truth of who they really are, because there was no way to distinguish a clone from a real soul person. They made sure of that. That is how they confused the illusory world from the real world, the truth from the lie. So these people will now, because of that because of the powerful change in the spiritual, in that energetic mixture of these two people, these two true divine counterparts, purely based in pure divine energy, will awaken them also. We are supposed to be human. We are not the clones, or we are not batteries to anybody. And the people around us are not actually even real. They have no souls. They're all bots, zombies, clones. So this is what they were supposed to awaken the whole population on the truth to, and finish off the original divine creation that God meant for it to be. And that's another reason why all this dark forces are desperate to either destroy me or destroy the divine masculine, because they cannot risk their existence. But it's over. Because the thing is, like I mentioned, it should not have even come this far. Because they were warned, don't. And what did they do? In a way, they brought it upon themselves. Congratulations. And I will go into another tangent of how this divine masculine, divine feminine separation also wanted to work out for them is because when they tracked out, I was born in US, so I was kidnapped from there and stole at birth and brought somewhere into India where I don't even belong, among people who I don't belong, all these clone-ass narcissists who abuse left, right and center. The point was to use my energy to create as much destruction as possible in the US itself. Even if they did not know directly who the divine masculine is, not until recently, they had to make sure that even if I realize the truth, the place has to be destroyed so much that even divine would not be able to bring these people together, counterparts together, where he wanted them to come together. For what reason? So there was this systematic sabotage of things all over the world, but also very systematic and artificial perversion and destruction happening in the US right now from the last 150 years. And that is for that reason. It was once based on right principles. It was working, building, growing, and it had that power. And once it was in the powerful place, it sold itself out. Okay, there was somebody in the president's place a long time ago. He literally sold itself out by signing false contracts with all these evil spirits for more greed. So whatever that country was built on, it was building correctly. And then there came a point where the greed, power, control, lust for power and quick growth and wanting to be superpower all over the world, this seeped in. And sensing the power and growth trajectory of that country, these evil-spirited and evil people all over, they went there and started making all these contracts with the devil. And that is how they were able to bring about all these false things into existence in that particular country. If you notice, it was where the growth was also highest and also a lot of perversion started a lot. And that is for this specific reason. They targeted that country for that specific reason. Because it was going in the right direction, it had the potential to reach that place where it is meant to be as per divine. And it is also where the divine feminine was born and divine masculine was born, and they were both meant to come together and start their real change from there. The real creation based in divine principle and foundation from there. So they're trying their level best to corrupt the place and destroy and this and that so much, so it won't come together, that kind of evilness, because I can tell by how much filth they create, because God won't go near filth like that. So they were hoping and wishing that would at least disgust God enough to not create the real creation from happening. But it's exactly the opposite. It's all being cleansed and removed and permanently annihilated, so that the real divine partnerships can come together. The true divine feminine can come and create her creation. The true divine masculine can truly love her unconditionally. They can come and finish their job, and also awaken other people who actually are souls whose real partnerships based in the divine, the matches that were made for them, which were hijacked and stolen by these clones and other bots around them, they would have to be now restored, and so that everything would fall in place. Not only the partnerships, but also the divine energy, the creation, and whatever they perverted using the feminine creation energy and created a perverted world, it has to be cleansed off, so that this pure energy can now start creating actual things that were meant to be created for the human good, for the good of the human race, for the world, for the cosmos. And this is the whole idea of this. And the biggest picture as to what was happening. Why me? Why the divine masculine? Why the particular manipulation, why the particular demolition and destructions all over the world and all that. And since it's a creation energy, they would use for anything or anywhere, including weather manipulation. This is something I sensed very early on in my childhood, and I was observing, because everything is creation, literally. So they wanted to make a clone of me using my DNA with all that power, with all that divinity in me, eliminate me, and then use the clone and project it as the divine feminine and literally ruin the world. That's what they thought would happen. That's what they were planning. Like I said, permanent disconnection from God, permanently disconnecting this world from God, permanently making it reek in evil, and also steal the wisdom, knowledge, and the soul power that I have and put it in some other body, some other clone as body who can never be replicated. That is one thing they did not see. That's another thing they did not see. They can never do it. They can because that's why they were warned not to go anywhere near her, and they did. And we are about to watch how it's going to play out in the physical world, and it's going to be good for those who still have souls. And that's a good news. That's a good news and good part of all of us. That the divine feminine will be restored to who she really is, and including her identity, her birthright, her legacy, her lineage, her identity, because everything about her was stolen and a copycat was living in my image for the longest time. But it will all come to truth, it will all be exposed, and the true divine masculine will come into union with her. He has already come into union in the spiritual, and it will also manifest itself in the physical, and it will bring out the real change that was meant to happen, so that the true creation, the true divine creation that was meant to come from true counterparts would manifest, would be able to manifest, build the world that was meant to be, so that the cosmos is going to take the trash out. And it's going to be good, that's for sure. For the good ones, it will be good. And it's going to play out, it will be playing out for some time now. But it is assured, it is done, it's happening right now. And that's the good part of it. You don't have to wait and see, oh, it will happen some other time. No, it's happening right now. That's why I'm talking about it, saying it, and making it like a confirmation. So this is what it is. All this warfare was about that. And you will see, once this false illusory world and false contracts and fake as clones reveal themselves, and you will see them for who they really are, and the whole truth will come out. That is when it will shock the real humans as to how the extent of illusion created, the false world that was projected to be the real world. You will all see it. It will shock the marbles out of you, but it will be that grand, it's that global, it's that huge, and it's going to be that obvious. So brace yourself for it, because it's coming, it's happening.